And welcome back. Well, its dreams come true for a Long Island Marine who lost both legs while serving in Iraq. And a few weeks ago, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation broke ground on a new home for this Suffolk County veteran.
1, 2, 3.
Cheers for Corporal Chris Levy at this groundbreaking for what will be his new home. Thanks to donations from numerous veterans, business groups, and the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, the 34-year-old Holbrook native rode as guest of honor in a motorcade to the ceremony. Levy still recalls how he lost both legs in 2009 while serving in Iraq. He now stands with prosthetic knees, yet regrets nothing.
It would be a bargain if I'd only took half my body for the country.
Such bravery made it easy for veterans and first responder groups to rally behind the single veteran who currently lives with his parents.
Freedom is not free. And he paid the price.
These artists' renderings show just how nice the veterans' new digs will be. Already, neighbors are forming a welcome wagon.
We love having Chris come to the block. We love him. Yes, we do. It's great.
This war-hardened veteran who also served in Afghanistan says he still can't comprehend the huge outpouring of community support, including construction businesses and workers donating both materials and labor to build the new home.
I went through shock the first time when I got blown up or wounded, and now, you know, it's just delayed reactions to the same shock I feel. There's no way to process it.
It's hoped the home will be completed by spring. Chris Levy says he has big plans for all of his new friends. He's planning a big party when he moves in.
It's going to be a year of barbecues.
And plenty of time, Levy says, for him to continue rebuilding the life nearly taken from him on the battlefield. And Chris Levy is now a financial analyst who is also helping to rebuild the lives of other returning veterans. And joining us to talk more about this is John Hodge. He is the COO with the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
For folks who don't know what Tunnel to Towers is, it's in honor of Stephen Siller, right? Please explain why.
Yes, well, first of all, Stephen Siller is my cousin.
Right.
Okay, Stephen Siller was a firefighter who on September 11th had just gotten off duty and was heading home to play golf with his brothers in Staten Island, where he lived. And he heard the call on the scanner in his personal pickup truck about what was going on. Turns that truck right around, goes racing back to Squad 1 in Brooklyn, grabs his gear, but all the fire trucks had rolled into Manhattan at that point. Not to be deterred, he gets out on the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway to get into Manhattan through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, now the UL Carey Tunnel. And in the process, as he gets close, because all inbound traffic had been closed off, he abandons his truck right in the middle of the highway. All the traffic had backed up, so he abandons his truck in the middle of the highway, leaves his keys on the front seat. He puts on that 60 to 65 pounds of turnout gear that the firefighters wear, and he starts to run. And he ran from where he was on that highway all the way through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel and through the streets of Lower Manhattan, where he did hook up with his fellow members from Squad 1, and unfortunately all 12 of them perished in the collapse of the South Tower.
The Tunnel to Towers.
The Tunnel to Towers,
And
yes.
really the icon, the image of what a first responder is, and how seriously they take that, given his life really for it.
Absolutely. You know, we always say, we tell Stephen's story, family members, of course, were proud of what he did that day, but we say he's symbolic of what all the first responders did that day.
I agree. And so from that, your organization sprang up, has helped to rebuild the lives of first responders, but now from our story, as you just saw with Chris there, Chris Levy, it's expanding to military veterans. Why did you decide to move from just the first responders to the military veterans?
Well, you know, as a 9/11 organization, people ask that question all the time, and here's the answer. We believe that the first responders fought the first battle in the war on terror or terrorism on September 11th, 2001. And then thereafter, that was passed off to the military. And we just feel it's like our duty, our obligation to take care of them moving forward. You know, they went out to fight the battles for us and to maintain our freedom. They're coming back severely injured, so we want to make sure that we can give them a quality of life.
Ground zero, you know, I mean, it certainly was 9/11. That was a military attack. And many times you find that the people who are in the military were first responders, or when they come out of the military, they become first responders. So there's a lot of crossover between the two, right?
Absolutely.
So now we saw Chris there. By the way, you're going to go to his barbecue?
Well, I'm expecting to get the invitation any day now.
Let me know if you don't. No, you're going to be there.
I don't know if he's a good cook, though, so we have to find out about that first.
Hey, it's free, though, so you can't go wrong. But it's not just Chris that you've helped. I was stunned by how many homes, because this hasn't gotten all that much attention until this story. Dozens of people, right? Tell us about the other people. How many in all?
When we broke ground for Chris's home, a couple of weeks ago. That is the 66th home that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has either built or is in the process of building or in design.
Around the country or just here?
Oh, absolutely around the country, not just in this area. So like most of them are outside of this area. Very few of them are in the Northeast. But we have a list, a waiting list of just about 200 people. So we still have a long way to go, and we're committed to finish up on building that list.
Yeah, you're seeing video there of Afghanistan and Iraq, because that's where Chris served and where he was injured, so badly injured by a roadside IED. And he even suffered some hand damage as well to his thumb and to the rest of his hand. And you see the pride people have here in the neighborhood. They give him a motorcade here, a motorcycle parade. There were veterans and motorcycles. I mean, it really was a big deal.
You know, Richard, I just have to say, one of the reasons we had a groundbreaking ceremony, and we don't have them all the time, we wanted to recognize the Long Island community because they have come out in just an enormous way. I know you just had the guys from Northwell Health on. Well, Northwell Health is one of the big sponsors for this house also. They're donating the first $100,000 towards getting this home built. And, you know, the Long Island community, a lot of contractors, subcontractors are all coming forward because they want to make sure Chris gets this beautiful home.
And, of course, you got to raise money for this. So there's, what, a fundraiser coming up at a local playhouse, I believe, too, right?
Correct. Gateway Playhouse in Bellport, Long Island, heard about what was going on and said, hey, we want to help out. How can we do that? So they are going to give us 100% of the proceeds from a concert that they're having at the Playhouse on November 26th at 7 p.m. And if you go to thegateway.org, it's thegateway.org.
You know the show?
You can get those tickets.
Do you know the show?
The show is called...
Some musical, no? I'm trying to remember myself. I was going to bring it up myself.
You know what? I'm having a talk.
Check the website.
I apologize. It's called Legends in Concert.
Legends in Concert.
And a lot of the legends are, you know, Janis Joplin, Katy Perry, Steven Tyler. Yeah, some really wonderful acts.
From the old to the new. How do you become eligible to be somebody who is lucky enough to have you guys put together this sort of thing for them? Or do you even apply, or do you just choose folks? How does that whole thing work?
Well, you know, unfortunately, it's a club you probably don't want to be a member of.
Right, because you've been injured and badly hurt.
Correct. And we say we're building for the most catastrophically injured service members that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan. And by that, up until now, it has been primarily triple or quadruple amputees or double amputees above the knee.
Well, we wanted to show some video. We were proud to co-sponsor the yearly Tunnel to Towers race this year, and we just have some video of this year's race, which was run just several weeks ago, I believe, in September, no?
September 24th.
Yeah, so this race helps to raise money for that as well, right? And so where do things stand with the first responders? And we have just a few seconds, but we did want to honor your race here.
Well, thank you for bringing that up on the screen. We're also very proud. You know, we build homes across the country, but it's only one of our programs. One of the other programs we have is that we have been taking care of the families of first responders who have been killed in the line of duty over the past few years.
Great work. We all support you. Very proud of you, and it's much needed. John Hodge with the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard.
And before we go, some life-saving help from strangers in the middle of that nasty rainstorm this past week. That's when we return.